If you're near age 59 and a half, don't miss this. There's a short planning window that opens at this age, and most people don't realize it exists until it's already closing. In the next few minutes, I'll explain what that window is and why it matters to the rest of your retirement. Most people think age 59 and a half is just about avoiding a penalty, but in real life, it's much more significant than that. Age 59 and a half quietly opens a planning window, one that can affect your taxes, your income, and how much control you have over your money for the rest of your life. Let's start with the obvious part. At age 59 and a half, the IRS stops charging the 10% early withdrawal penalty on retirement accounts. That applies to traditional IRAs, old employer retirement plans, and Roth IRAs. Now, taxes may still apply depending on the account, but the penalty goes away. That's the part most people know. But if that's all you think this age is about, you're missing the most important part. Before age 59 and a half, even if you wanted to take money out strategically, the penalty made it too expensive. After 59 and a half, that barrier disappears, and that's when planning becomes far more important than rules. Think of this less as a rule change and more as the moment planning finally becomes possible. For the first time, you can think about taking money out of retirement accounts intentionally, not because you have to, but because it makes sense. You might still be working, you might be semi-retired, you might have a few years where your income is lower before Social Security begins. Those years can be extremely valuable, and here's why. Once required minimum distributions begin later in life, flexibility drops. Once you start receiving Social Security, your taxable income often increases. Once Medicare premiums are tied to your income, planning gets tighter. Most people don't realize that all these things stack on top of each other, which is why this window matters so much. So the period after age 59 and a half, but before all those other things begin, can be one of the most flexible times you'll ever have. This is where strategies like partial Roth conversions can come into the conversation, or carefully planned withdrawals that smooth out future taxes, or adjusting how your portfolio is positioned without penalty pressure. Not because everybody should do these things, but because now, for the first time, you can. I'm curious, have you thought about this as a planning opportunity, or are you just now realizing that it might matter? Please leave a comment below. Now back to the bigger picture. What I see all too often is that people wait. They assume they'll deal with this later. They assume they'll figure it out after required minimum distributions start. They assume they'll figure it out when things get calmer. But when retirement arrives, flexibility is often gone. Tax brackets are higher, income sources are stacked on top of each other, and the planning window that existed quietly after 59 and a half has already closed. This window opens quietly. It doesn't come with a reminder. And if you don't step back and take a look at all of your accounts together, not in isolation, it's easy to miss. And once that window closes, it doesn't reopen. Having worked with retirees and pre-retirees for over 30 years, this is one of the most misunderstood ages I see. People focus on the penalty, but they miss the opportunity to be intentional. So if you're approaching age 59 and a half, or you've just crossed it, this is a good time to pause. Look at all your accounts together and look at how income, taxes, and timing interact. And ask a better question than, can I take money out? Ask instead, how should I think about this phase so I don't lose flexibility later? If you'd like help thinking through all this, that's exactly what I help people to do. I work with people who are approaching retirement or are already in retirement to help them think through these decisions thoughtfully, not just account by account, but as a complete picture. If that would be helpful to you, reach out. And for more on retirement planning and investment management, watch these videos next.